Good morning everybody. For standard 12, okay, today we are going to continue the chapter on sexual reproduction. Now, we know that in plants or in animals that there is a juvenile phase. The juvenile phase means the immature phase. In the animals, when they are sexually not mature, produce enough sperms or ovum, and that phase is called the juvenile phase. In plant also there is a similar type of juvenile phase, what we call the vegetative phase. That means the time the plants are not yet able to, they may not be able to reproduce. Like say for example in some biennial plants you will see that they remain in a vegetative state. They may propagate through underground propagation or other subaerial propagation or other types of vegetative propagation. Now, in plants we say there are annual plants and biennial plants. Annual plants are those plants which usually produce their flowers and they produce fruits, and the seeds are formed, and then these seeds again in the next terrific plant they can grow. Means they complete their whole life cycle in 1 year. So most of the plants that we see are mostly annual plants, and they do not have a vegetative state. Like say for example annual plants are like say for example a carrot, or not carrot exactly, say a flower which produces the flower seeds and then dies, and again next year they grow. Biennial plants are those which generally have 2 years to complete their life cycle. 1 year they will complete the life cycle through a vegetative phase, like say for example carrot or say dahlia, onion. So 1 year they produce vegetatively by say through the bulbs or the corms, and next year they remain in the ground in a vegetative state, and then they produce the leaves and they produce flowers and seed. That time they produce sexually. So both are sexual, and the sexual reproduction is there, and that is completed within 2 years. So like in onion we have this biennial plant. Now in plants we say that usually there is a vegetative phase, a reproductive phase, and a senescence phase. Vegetative phase is when they are unable to produce the sexually reproductive organs. Reproductive phase is when the reproductive organs are mature and they can go for fertilization, and the zygote can develop into a new plant. And in senescence phase, usually the phase which is after the growth phase, the plants phase out or die. Before dying, that phase is called the senescence. Now, plants can be monocarpic and polycarpic. So, what are monocarpic plants? Which are flower once in their lifetime. But polycarpic plants are those which can flower more than once in a lifetime. Say for example a mango plant. Every year they produce flower, and the flower they fertilize, produce mangoes and seeds. So that's generally these plants are annual plants. That means annually they produce flower. But flower once in the lifetime biennial plants. Say for example in one life cycle they will produce once flower. Like say onion plant. Okay. They have the flower once in the life cycle. So usually the second phase, the sexual phase, one is a vegetative phase, the second phase is sexual phase, that time they produce the flower. So they are called the monocarpic, and the annual plants are called polycarpic. Now even in the sexual reproduction, there are 3 phases: the pre-fertilization phase, the post-fertilization phase, 2 phases. And usually in the pre-fertilization phase, usually we will see that the gametogenesis takes place. That means the formation of the gametes. The gametogenesis usually divided into 2 parts, called the oogenesis and the spermatogenesis in case of animals. Now, if the gametes are morphologically similar, we call them isogametes. In lower organism, you will see you cannot differentiate between the sperm and the egg. So those type of gametes where you cannot differentiate a sperm or egg morphologically, structurally, then we say those type of gametes are isogametes. If they are structurally dissimilar, like say for example human sperm and ovum, sperm is motile, has a tail, head, neck and tail. In the ovum is circular more or less. So they are called the anisogamete. That means they are morphologically dissimilar. Now, so this is about the isogametes, that they are morphologically similar gametes. Now let us know about what are the meiocytes. Now meiocytes are called the gamete mother cell. Okay, or we say say for example in oocytes we say the primary oocyte is is called a meiocyte. Usually they are diploid, and then when they divide meiotically they produce the haploid ova, or say the sperm mother cell when diploid 2N, when they undergo meiosis they will produce the haploid cells or the sperms through the process of spermatogenesis and spermiogenesis. Now the second phase is the gamete transfer phase. Gamete transfer phase is in the middle phase. Generally we see after the pre-fertilization phase, where, or you can say it's a part of the pre-fertilization phase, where the gamete has to be transferred. Some gametes are there which are motile, some are non-motile. In plants also, in animal also. So I say in case of the pteridophytes, the both male and females they are motile. But in many cases they are non-motile there. So like for example in angiosperms, the pollen grains are generally non-motile. But now they have to be transferred through a process. So there are various agents which transfer. It can be a water, it can be wind, it can be insect, which can be a bird. So that's called pollination. So we divide according to different phases. We say zoophily, ornithophily, entomophily. If it is through animal, zoophily. If it is through what we call birds, then ornithophily. If it is through insect, entomophily. The pollination agent is insect, then we say entomophily. Or say through bats, it can be called chiropterophily. Or it can be through elephants also, like in Rafflesia, the elephant is a agent of the pollinator. So we say there it is called elephophily. Now the phase post fertilization phase, pre-fertilization, and then we have the fertilization phase is the entire process. Of the process of fertilization is called fertilization. The entire process which involves the fertilizing is called the fertilization. Among it, the syngamy is one part of the fertilization. That means only the process of fusion, the male and the female gamete, is called the syngamy. So syngamy is defined, the fertilization of male and the female gamete to form the zygote. So that's called syngamy. Now there is a process where fertilization do not take place. That is called parthenogenesis. Now parthenogenesis, where there is no syngamy, the development takes place without fertilization. In plants generally, you will see the hormones, they do this. The hormones are the main, the phytohormones usually help in the process of the development of the fruit or the seeds. Usually in parthenocarpy, we define it, we tell it a little bit different. We don't use the word parthenogenesis, we call parthenocarpy. So in case of parthenocarpy, usually the fruits are seedless. So usually the formation of the fruit takes place with the involvement of certain types of hormones. Now in the post-fertilization phase, we have embryogenesis. That means the zygote then divides, cleaves, and it forms, the embryo. The whole process is called the embryogenesis. The embryogenesis in plant also takes place in the formation of the fruit and the seed, particularly the seed, the embryo. And in animal also embryogenesis takes place, which is a total subject, like how the cleavage of the zygote takes place slowly, and the different parts of the stem cells are formed, and the development of the organ and the organogenesis, all is part of the embryogenesis. Now among this, we have usually three types of animals we call oviparous. Oviparous are egg-laying animals. Okay, like say they will always fertilize. Like for insects are oviparous, or reptiles are oviparous. Then we have a viviparous. They directly give birth to the babies. Usually what we call the mammals we see out there are viviparous. That the babies are developed inside the body, and they are when they are externally, when they are born, then they are fed with the mother's milk. So they are called viviparous. So in oviparous we have insects and the reptiles. Then in viviparous generally all the mammals and vertebrates, they are viviparous, except few mammals of course. And ovoviviparous is that some animals are there, particularly in the Prototheria group of the mammals, where they are born but born from the eggs, but later on they are fed with the milk of the mother. So we call them the ovoviviparous, like echidna, duckbill platypus, etc. Now, we'll see that in sexuality in the plant, there are two types of plant, unisexual plants and bisexual plants. Unisexual plants usually, where there is presence of only one sex organ, either the stamen or the pistil. Stamen is the male reproductive organ. If it is present, only stamen is present in the flower, we call it a staminate flower, and if it possesses only the pistil, we call it a pistillate flower. But there are types of flowers which are bisexual flowers. Bisexual flowers are those which possess both the male and female gamete together. Okay, that's called a bisexual. Now, monoecious plant, male and female flowers on the same plant, like in Cucurbitaceae, in like cucumber, in pumpkin, you will see the single plant possesses both the male and the female flower. So, they are unisexual flower on the same plant, we call it monoecious. In dioecious, you will see the unisexual plants the flowers are in two different plants, like in case of papaya, in case of palm, Palmyra palm, you will see there is a male type of plant and a female type of plant which possess male flowers and female flowers respectively. That's called a dioecious plant. Now, in animals, we will see this parthenogenesis. As I told you, parthenogenesis is found in the animals. For example, in some insects, we find this in some lizards, it is found, and some reptiles. Okay. So here the queen gives two types of egg. One is the unfertilized egg, another is the fertilized egg. If the fertilized egg is fed with royal jelly, then that develops into a queen. If the fertilized egg is fed only with honey, they are developed into a worm. But the unfertilized egg that develops through parthenogenesis into the drone. Now the drone produces sperm by mitosis. Here, usually sperm should be produced by meiosis, but they are used since they are unfertilized. So you don't have a diploid, what we call the drone. They produce the sperm by mitosis, and this sperm is fertilizing the queen. So the queen is the male partner, and the queen is the drone is the queen male partner, and the queen is the female partner. So that fertilizes the eggs laid by the queen. Again, if it is developed from the fertilized egg, they develop into the queen and the worker, unfertilized egg, they produce the drone. Now, this type of parthenogenesis is found in the eggs. So, till then, this is the chapter, the end of the chapter on the sexual reproductions and the different types of reproductions in plants and animals. And we are going to start with a new lesson in the next class. And take care. If you have any question, you can put up the question. Thank you.